Hi, everyone. Today I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't do the predictions because I'm so tired. Work was very hectic today. But I was like, when am I going to do them? Because I then upsets predictions Friday, and I'm introducing a new format for my shorts predictions, which is a lot of work. There's a lot of editing that I have to do for that. Um, yeah. It's a lot. But you know what? I'm fueled by passion and my desire to be the best. So, it makes it all worth it. So I'm going to go through the entire card, the upcoming card. Amanda Lemos versus Virna Jandiroba. Um, I'm going to give you my picks and my subscribers' picks, and then at the end, I'm going to predict um, how the fight will end, basically, whether it's going to be a decision or if it's going to be a finish, right? So, yeah, let me get to it. Mohammed Usman versus my subscribers went with Mohammed Usman. I went with Thomas Peterson. Um, I feel like Thomas Peterson is all round the better fighter. However, obviously because it's heavyweight, and on top of that, Peterson is not in shape, man. That's one of the few things that worry me about this particular pick. It's that he's not in shape, so I don't know how he's going to perform for 3 rounds. But it's not like Usman is a cardio machine, like so like obviously the advantage is that he's training with people like Kamaru Usman, but I mean, he's been at the bottom of the heavyweight division. I mean, if you can't get into the top 15 in the heavyweight division, then it means you're not that good. I feel like Thomas Peterson is a little bit younger. So I feel like there are certain things that he's going to be able to do. The height, number one, one of the biggest concerns I have about this particular pick is the height of Thomas Peterson, and as well as the body weight, right? He's fat. It's not like he's like a proper heavyweight. At least, I also feel like Usman is not like a proper heavyweight. I feel like he should be fighting at light heavyweight, actually middleweight. I don't think heavyweight is the right division. He packs on too much muscle, which slows him down. So for me personally, I don't feel like either of them are heavyweights. They're not heavyweights. But at least Muhammad Usman is heavy because of muscle as opposed to fat, you know. But nonetheless, I am leaning a little bit more towards Thomas Peterson. I feel like he's the better everywhere. I honestly don't understand why Muhammad Usman is the favorite. Um, Maybe it's because of the cardio, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But my subscribers went with Muhammad Usman. I went with Thomas Peterson. Coin flip. I feel pretty confident about Thomas Peterson, but you never know. Hey, the cardio thing is one of my biggest concerns, and even the height. On to the next one, and Muhammad Usman is the favorite. Okay. On to the next one, Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. My subscribers and I went with Luana Carolina. Um, Let me see. I think Luana Carolina is going to be. I think she's going to be able to get this done pretty decently. Obviously, it's women's MMA, so I'm expecting a decision win. But in this particular fight, I feel pretty confidently about my pick. Okay, maybe I think Luana Carolina is going to be able to win this fight convincingly. Um, Element that I'm going to be adding to my predictions, whereby there's going to be a subscriber's confidence on each particular fight. So I'm going to be telling you if it's going like in terms of percentage, whether a fight is going to be, for example, 78% risky or maybe 75% safe, for example. And I think it's going to be super incredible. It's going to come out this Saturday for the picks for UFC 303. in order for my subscribers to avoid fights that are high risk, basically, and to avoid losing money. So yeah, that's something that I'm really excited about. But yeah, on to this particular fight. My subscribers and I went with Luana Carolina. I feel like she's a little bit more experienced. I think she's fought better competition. I think she's going to be a little bit better offensively and slightly defensively on the feet and potentially on the ground. Um, it could go either way, but no, I don't think so. I think Luana Carolina will probably win this one. I'm just curious as to why Lucy Pudilova is a favorite in this particular fight. Um, in any case, um, my subscribers and I went with Luana Carolina. On to the next one, Loic Radzabov versus Trey Ogden. My subscribers and I went with Loic Radzabov. I think Radzabov is going to be the better striker, both offensively and defensively, and with regards to volume. I think he throws a little bit. I think he throws a little bit more. I think he throws a little bit more than Trey Ogden. I think he's a little bit better defensively. He doesn't get hit a lot. And even on the ground, I feel like it's going to be a coin flip. I mean, it could go either way because okay, am I looking at this the right way? No, man. I think on the feed, the Trey Ogden is going to have the advantage, and on the ground, it's going to be a coin flip. Yeah. This is a red zone for me. Um, yeah, I actually did well by reading what I've written here, the notes that I've written for myself. This for me is a red zone. It tells me that this fight is extremely risky. Um, they are very evenly matched. I feel like Razabov will be, I don't know, he'll find a way to win, right? However, I feel like Trey Ogden is the better fighter, right? But I'm sticking with my pick of Loic Razabov. I trust my analysis. It hasn't led me astray. Like the worst, when it's horrible for me, I know that I'm not alone. Also in my camp as well. So I'm trusting my analysis on this particular fight. It says Loic Razabov is going to win this one. Um, but honestly speaking, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Despite the fact that my subscribers and I are picking Loic Razabov, I think Trey Ogden is the better striker, um, offensively and defensively volume. I think he throws a little bit more. As far as on the ground, I think it's going to be a coin flip. It could go either way if it goes to the ground. Obviously, Loic Razabov shoots a little bit more takedowns. And I think Trey Ogden is a little bit more dangerous when it comes to submissions. I think Trey Ogden has the power advantage in my opinion. I mean, it could be also because like I haven't seen enough of Loic, but I've seen enough to know that I feel like Loic is going to win this one. But I can honestly say I feel like it's a coin flip. So if you want to risk, you can risk, but I'd stay away from this one. But my subscribers and I went with Loic Razabov. On to the next one, Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa. This is another coin flip for me. Hi, man. This is another coin flip for me. My subscribers and I went with Miranda Maverick. My internet is bad. For whatever reason, I thought it was working properly. I'll fix that. On the next upsets predictions. I'm sorry, man. I apologize for that. I'm not aware. The problem is like YouTube doesn't notify you, and I'm using 5G. So like, if 5G is bad, then I honestly don't know. I guess I'll buy data and see how that works out. Um, and I checked the internet speed and everything. I don't know why it's bad. Like if 5G, I'm using 5G, so if 5G is bad, then I don't know. But you know what? I'll try and use data. Okay, let me do this. Please wait for me. I think maybe there might be something that I can do about this. I'll continue. Let me try. Let me go and yeah, I think I figured out the problem. I think the problem was I was using the internet from work instead of the 5G at home. So thank you for that. I wasn't aware. Hopefully the internet has improved right now. So let me continue. Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa. Um, for me, this one is also a coin flip. I think Dione Barbosa is still fresh in the UFC, but I think she's good. I mean, in her last fight, her cardio didn't look that great, but I still feel like she's actually very good. If she improves her cardio. On the other hand, I feel like Miranda Maverick has faced a little bit better competition. So yeah, my subscribers and I went with Miranda Maverick. I feel like on the feed it's going to be a coin flip. On the ground, I'd give an advantage to Miranda Maverick. Um, yeah, a slight advantage, not a massive advantage, but I'd give a slight advantage to Miranda Maverick on the ground. So, but this is also another coin flip, so the best thing to do is just to stay away from this one. Um, yeah, my subscribers and I went with Miranda Maverick. On to the next one, Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. My subscribers and I went with Cody Gibson. To be honest, I didn't think I would actually pick Cody Gibson. When I was busy analyzing this particular fight, I honestly thought I would end up picking Brian Kelleher. But for some reason, I saw so many um, advantages that Cody Gibson had in this particular fight, and I reluctantly picked him. And for some reason, now he's a massive favorite. Not massive, but like he's a decent favorite, which is crazy to me, because I feel like this fight is a little bit closer than the odds say, but maybe they see something I'm not seeing. But I honestly feel like Cody Gibson has the advantage here. Feet, I think Cody Gibson will be better. On the ground, I think Brian Kelleher will have some level of an advantage, not significant, but I think Cody Gibson will be defensively sound enough. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest takedown defense, but I think he can survive enough to make sure that the fight stays standing. And if he can do that, I think he has enough power to knock Brian Kelleher out. But I don't think that's going to happen. Most likely, this is going to be a decision for Cody Gibson. So yeah, my subscribers and I went with Cody Gibson. On to the next one, Jeong Young Lee versus Haida Amil. My subscribers and I went with Lee. Um, I think on the feed, Haida Amil will have a bit of an advantage. I think he is both better defensively and offensively, and I think he throws a little bit more. But on the ground, I would give the advantage to Lee. So it's gonna be a one. This one, it could be a coin flip as well. but I feel a bit more confident than some of the other fights about this one. I don't think it's that much of a coin flip, but potentially it is. But my subscribers and I went with Jiang Yong Lee. Um, I can't say I feel pretty confidently about this, but I think he wins this one. On to the next one, Du Ho Choi versus Bill Algeo. I think Bill Algeo is going to win this one. I think he will be significantly. I think he will be significantly better almost everywhere. Um, I honestly can't see a path to victory for Duho Choi, especially because he hasn't been active for a very long time. I heard something like he was doing his military service. A lot of these guys, once they come back from military service, they never look the same. I have never seen an athlete that has gone away for military service and then came back and looked sensational. The Korean Zombie, there's some other fighters, I forgot them, and I only noticed this because a lot of from military service, and they never look the same when once they come back from military service. I don't know if it's because maybe they are a little bit older or whatever the case is, but they no longer look the way they look. Not only because of that, I also still feel like even if he didn't go for military service, I still feel like Bill Algeo would have still won this particular fight. I think he's the better fighter. I feel like he's faced the better competition. I mean, having a win over Joanderson Brito is a massive thing. Joanderson Brito is like a killer. He's beaten people like Diego Lopez. So that win has aged pretty well. So I think Bill Algeo will probably win this one. On to the next one. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. My subscribers and I went with Bruno Silva. And in all honesty, I don't know why I picked Bruno Silva. Um, Once again, it's my analysis. I try not to think too much into certain things, but in this particular fight, I think um, significantly. I could be wrong, and normally I am wrong sometimes. I said this when I was predicting UFC 303 and UFC 302. There were a couple of fights that I didn't feel pretty contagious. But the guy that I ultimately picked, was a little bit more, was actually the winner. Like, what do you call him? I forgot the Irish kid, the Irish undefeated guy. Ian Machado Gary. I wasn't confident in that pick. I felt like Michael Venom Page was better, and in all honesty, I think he was better. But he was better on the feet, right? But Ian Gary found a way to win on the ground. So there are fights like that where I feel like with the other guy because there are certain elements that I feel like he has. The fight, I'm not confident about Bruno Silva winning this one, but that's my official pick, and I'm sticking with it. My subscribers also picked Bruno Silva. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. On to the next one. Kurt Holleberg versus Kanan Kruchewski. My subscribers and I went with Kanan Kruchewski. I think the only way for Kruchewski to win this one is if he takes it to the ground. I think on the feet, Kurt Holleberg will have the advantage. But he's old now, so that's one of the things that I considered also in deciding whether or not to pick him. Because it's not like Kruchevsky is leaps and bounds better. That's not the reason I picked him. I feel like it's a coin flip. In all honesty, I almost picked Kurt Holleberg, but there are certain elements, including age, that made me feel like, I don't think he's going to win this one. So my subscribers feel the same way. So I guess we'll just have to versus Sing Woo Choi. My subscribers and I went with Steve Garcia, obviously. I think Steve Garcia should dominate this fight wherever it goes. Um, yeah, let me see. Yeah, wherever this fight goes, I feel like Steve Garcia should dominate this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets like a finish. So yeah, my subscribers and I picked Steve Garcia. On to the next one. Brett Tavares versus Jiang Yong Park. My subscribers and I went with Jiang Yong Park. I hope I'm pronouncing these names properly. Oh, they are kicking my ass. Anyway, this is a bit of a coin flip, but I don't feel like Brett Tavares is that good. People give him too much credit for the performance against what do you call him, Dricus Duplessis, and I don't know how much stock I would put into that, especially because I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, okay, here's the thing, right? My view on Dricus Duplessis' skills aside, Dricus had an issue, a breathing issue, when he fought Brett Tavares. So he didn't have cardio, right, when he was fighting Brett Tavares. And that's why that fight looked how it looked, for me personally. And obviously, Dricus Duplessis was still gaining experience. It's kind of like saying, well, the first dude who fought Israel Adesanya was exceptionally good. So he might have, I don't know, like why isn't he up in the rankings if he is as good as Israel Adesanya? So I don't put too much stock into how someone performed against someone who ended up succeeding at the top. It's kind of like the guy who knocked out Islam Makhachev. I don't think he's even in the UFC anymore. While Islam Makhachev is a champion, so should we put like stock into the guy that beat Islam Makhachev? Like for me personally, I don't rate it too much. So I don't think Brett Tavares is that good, man. Has he ever even been in the top 15? I don't know. Maybe he touched it a little bit. At some point, I don't know. I mean, the middleweight division used to be terrible, so it's a little bit better now. But I don't think Brett Tavares is that good. I think he is very overrated. I mean, it's going to be a coin flip. Still, despite that, but because I don't feel like Brett Tavares is that good, to trust in him to win anything. So I'm going with the Jan Young Park. My subscribers also picked Park. Main event: Amanda Lemos versus Virna Jandiroba. My subscribers and I went with Amanda Lemos. Um, a lot of people are going with Verna, and she's the favorite, and I get it. Verna can wrestle. She's a little bit more aggressive with submissions. But for me personally, Amanda Lemos was able to survive against Zhang Wei Li. Zhang Wei Li is the champion, right? Incredible grapplers like Henry Cejudo, and all these other people. So Zhang Wei Li couldn't finish Amanda Lemos. Mackenzie Dern, of course, Mackenzie Dern does not have the best takedowns. Um, Maybe that's an unfair comparison, but Mackenzie Dern is a world champion. In her specific in jiu-jitsu basically. I think she's a world champion. So if those two people couldn't finish Amanda Lemos, and especially with the experience that she got against Zhang Wei Li, I mean, for me personally, I asked myself, are the skills of Verna Jandiroba on the same level when we talk about grappling? Is Verna Jandiroba's grappling skills on the same level as Zhang Wei Li? Is that what we're saying? Right? That's the first question I asked myself, and I was like, I don't think so. Right? That was the first question. Verna might. might have, I don't know, a bit more tricky. Uh, might be a little bit more tricky because she throws a lot of submission attempts, so that might make the whole situation a little bit more tricky. But I don't know, man. I don't think she's going to be any better than Zhang Wei Li. And if Zhang Wei Li couldn't finish Amanda Lemos, I don't see Virna Jandiroba finishing Amanda Lemos. I don't see Virna Jandiroba dominating Amanda Lemos. I honestly don't feel like she's as good as Zheng Wei Li. And if she's not as good as Zheng Wei Li, because I feel like Lemos has somehow gotten experience from fighting Zheng Wei Li. So I think she's going to train her grappling defense, or rather wrestling defense. So I think there will be scrambles, but I don't feel like the fight will end up on the ground. I think it'll stay standing. Um, and if it stays standing, I mean, Verna is not too bad as a striker, but I feel like Lemos has the power. Lemos throws a little bit more. And then defensively, I'd give the slight advantage to Virna Jandiroba. So it's a coin flip, but I feel like Amanda Lemos should definitely win this one. Um, Let me try and actually predict the rounds, or rather predict how the fights are going to end. Um, Mohammed Usman versus Thomas Peterson. I want to say Thomas Peterson is going to knock out Mohammed Usman, but Usman is decent defensively, and he has the power advantage. So I don't see Peterson being the one to knock him out. But honestly, I feel like Thomas Peterson should dominate this fight if he doesn't get. So how do I see this fight going? I think a decision is safer. I think a decision is safer. I mean, Thomas Peterson could finish it in the first round. Decision. Luana Carolina versus Lucy Purilova. Definitely a decision. I mean, you know what? Maybe not definitely. Maybe not definitely. Okay, yeah. Let's. I think a decision is a safer bet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, look. Let me stick to a decision. Yeah, I'm sticking with a decision. Um, Trey Ogden versus Loic Radzhabov. I don't know, man. I think this might end in a finish. Um, yeah, I think this might end in a finish in the first round. Either Trey Ogden or Loic Radzhabov. Even though I picked Loic, something tells me that it's going to end early in the first round. Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa. Uh, another coin flip for me. It's a coin flip for me. Um, because the only way I see Miranda Maverick winning this one is through decision, and Dione Barbosa will probably win via finish if she does win. Whether I don't know if it's going to be in the first round. Let me see. Um, but Miranda Maverick is good defensively. I think, yeah, I think a decision here. Let me see. On to the next one. Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. Um, this one is. I mean, who does Cody Gibson finish, man? Like it's hard to say that this will end in a finish. I mean, based on what I'm looking at, Cody Gibson should get a finish, but they're both old. They are both not that elite. I mean, the fight against who's that little guy who won the contender series? Not the contender series, the Ultimate Fighter. Who's that guy? I forgot his name. Their fight was incredible. So maybe he might be able to find a finish. But I'm not confident in that. So what am I leaning towards? I think a knockout is possible here, man. I don't want to lie. And plus, Brian Kelleher is chinny, so like he can get knocked out. Like he's proven he's finishable. Like he's very susceptible to being finished. However you want to finish him, he's up for it. So first round, second round, maybe I could see a knockout. Yeah, I think Cody Gibson might get a knockout here between the first and second round. On to the next one, Jeng Yeon Lee versus Haida Amil. Haida Amil is not an easy guy to beat up. Like you're not going to just get in there and just dominate this guy. So I think it's going to be a decision. Um, On to the next one, Duho Choi versus Bill Algeo. Damn it! Like this card has so many close fights. It's insane. But I think Bill Algeo is going to finish him. Um, in what round? One or two. Let me try to narrow it down. Uh, Let me see. Let me see. I think in the first round. No, second round. Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards the second round. I think Bill Algeo will probably maybe find a way to finish it in the second round. On to the next one. Go Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. um, um, I think this is going to end in a finish, and I might be wrong about this one. Um, because based on what I'm looking at, like Cody Durden is the better fighter, right? Like, and I'm stubbornly picking Bruno Silva, right? And it's not just me being stubborn; like it's based on my research, and in my head. But I should say this: when I was doing my analysis, there were a lot of people around me, like family, so I wasn't completely focused. But I remember almost every single thing. But why the reason I'm mentioning this is that maybe there might have been little things that I might have missed that might have swayed my opinion in terms of like maybe switching to Cody Durden, right? But this week on this particular cause, there are certain things that I think I improved. So I guess we'll see with the results. So in this upcoming card, I'll tell you the kind of the fights that I feel like I might get wrong on this particular card after I finish up here. So Cody Durden, I think he might win. Um, I don't know if he's an underdog or favorite, but if he's an underdog, I think it's worth it. I think Cody Durden has a big shot of winning this fight, but I went with Bruno Silva. It might end in the finish, and if it does, it'll probably be Cody Durden. If it's Bruno Silva, I'm leaning more towards a decision. Kurt Hurlebog versus Kaynan Kruchevsky. This is probably going to be a decision. Yeah, yeah, I think it's going to be a decision. Steve Garcia versus Seng Moo Choi. Nah, this is not going to get to a decision. I think Steve Garcia is going to finish this fight probably in the first round. Um, yeah, first or second. Brett Tavares versus Jang Yong Park. Probably a decision as well. Amanda Lemos versus Virna Jandiroba. I don't know, man. Like these fights are hard to predict. I'm curious to see how I do on this particular card. Um, because I feel like there are approximately 30 fights that I'm not sure about, and this is one of them. Because it's quite literally a coin flip. Because one is a good striker, and obviously she didn't look good against Zhang Wei Li. Everyone double tap. You'll give you the stream a like. Oh, Ben, thank you, man. Everyone, double tap your screen. Give the stream a like. I appreciate that, man. Um, so the main event, I'm honestly not gonna lie to you guys. This is one of the fights that I could potentially get wrong, largely because Amanda Lemos obviously got exposed against Zhang Wei Li. But at the same time, she seems like she improved, but I don't know how much because the only other person that we saw her against was Mackenzie Dern, and like Mackenzie Dern like couldn't take. I don't know what's easy to take down. Couldn't take a baby down. Like babies are very easy to drop. I don't know. A baby is a horrible example. Yeah, man. I don't know. Whatever's easy to take down, I think Mackenzie Dunn is not very good. Like that's my point. She's not very good at taking people down. Me, but uh, as far as how the fight ends, I don't know, man. It's possible could actually knock Verna out, or Verna could actually find a submission. It's kind of hard to tell, but because of how I think Lemos showed us against Zhang Wei Li that she can actually survive. So I'm leaning more towards a decision if Verna Jandiroba is going to win this one. But I think it's going to be a finish for Amanda Lemos. My niece just came through. Uh, my niece is here. She's going to disturb me. Hello, Nana. Um, let me try and finish up because she's going to try and talk to me. Wait, that's a juice. Okay, I'll give you juice, ne? Wait. Um. Okay. Mohammed Usman versus Thomas Peterson. Um. Yeah, this is one of the fights that I'm not very confident about. I might get this one wrong because Thomas Peterson does not have the best cardio. Thomas Peterson does not have the best cardio. So I could get this one wrong. Luana Carolina. No, no, no. Come back. Here, Eta. Come. Come. You're not getting juice, Wawan. Come. Sorry about that. Um, Luana Carolina, I think I will get this one right. Lloyd Grazabov, I don't know. I might get this one wrong. Miranda Maverick, I might get this one wrong. Okay, I'm lying. I'm just telling you the kind of the fights that are risky, basically to pick. Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. I think he's going to win this one. I think Cody Gibson is going to win this one. Zheng Yong Lee. I think Lee is going to win. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. I think Harleba versus Kaynan Kruchowski. Um, yeah, I could get this one wrong. I went with Kruchowski, but I mean it's possible that Harleba could win. I mean Kruchowski has not looked sensational. Steve Garcia, I don't think I'll get this one wrong. I think he will probably definitely win. Brett Tavares versus Jung Park. Uh, it's possible. I mean, I feel a little bit more confident about this one, but it's possible that I could get this one wrong. Yeah, even this one, I could potentially get it wrong. Um, yeah, I'm done. I will do the upsets predictions. Okay, wait. Thank you. Friday. A lot of people were saying at the beginning of the stream, the quality. I don't know if it improved because now I'm using 5G. So I was connected to the Wi-Fi from work, so the stream wasn't that great. So I'll be doing the upsets predictions Friday. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Until then, oh, tomorrow I'm doing an interview. It was supposed to happen this past Sunday, and then it got postponed, and the guy was fighting. So the guy is a two division champion, the featherweight and lightweight champion of the EFC. The EFC, I will keep on repeating this until maybe people understand what this promotion is. It's the promotion where Drake is to champion in that particular promotion before he left. So the guy I'm going to be interviewing, I think, is one of the most talented fighters in South Africa. So yeah, I think he's going to win, or rather, I think he will probably. No, no, no. Talk tomorrow, man. I'm done. We'll do. We'll talk. I'm going to be interviewing tomorrow around this time as well. Sharp. Deuces. My niece, guys. I'm sorry.